Well, several interesting anomalies to report on today. Number one, Wuhan. As most of you are aware by now, Wuhan is a city in China. Bigger, actually, than any major city here in the United States. Bigger than New York, bigger than Los Angeles, bigger than any of them. Located on the outskirts of Wuhan is an infectious disease research center. Another fact about Wuhan is it was announced last year, I believe it was, that they would be the first city in China to do a full-scale rollout of 5G, which was done sometime late last year. Interestingly enough, the overexposure effects of 5G radiation closely mimic symptoms of the flu. Interesting, to say the least. It has been reported the crematoriums around Wuhan, China, have been running 24/7, disposing of up to 200 bodies or fatalities a day. What does all that mean? That more than likely the numbers are a hell of a lot higher than is being reported. And more than likely the kill rate or death rate of people who have contracted the virus is more than likely higher than has been reported. Now, back in the day when I was exposed to what has been called and what is actually the plan to institute world government, I was told that releasing biohazards or trying to start a pandemic was a last resort, something that they did not want to do. However, would resort to if things were ever out of their control. If they were ever on the verge of being exposed, is their last resort, you could say, their go-to fail-proof plan, just in case everything else was about to go out the window. I'm not saying that's what's going on here, but that sure in the hell is what it looks like. I say that because of the desperation of the other side during the impeachment inquiry and during the impeachment trial. the things that have been hinted at and touched upon, and the lack of a response from the other side, other than to try and deflect blame, throw shade on the subject, or outright not be willing to get involved in the conversation and or answer the questions. Now, there are those of you out there that think Trump isn't on our side. And I can't blame you for thinking that way, because I can't say for certain that you're not right. That's why, at least wise for me, I have based everything that has happened up till now on the work that has been done, and not the rhetoric or accusations that have been posed. Based on what I know about the New World Order plan and what they're trying to accomplish, it's played out like a war. And once you gain ground, you don't give it back. And in this situation, gaining ground was undermining our trade deals, moving the majority of the factories to China, disenchanting the public against belief in your country and nationalism, and so forth and so on. A lot of that has been rolled back, taken back. So I still have to give the guy the benefit of the doubt based on the work that's been done. However, I can't discount the fact that it's all a clever way to keep everyone distracted from what's going on. To have people think that, hey, we're on the mend, when it's only a way to tighten the noose even more, without people realizing that that's what's happening. So, even though I'm in support of the president, I still have to wonder whether or not he is what he says he is. No matter what some guy in Texas with a popular radio show says, no matter what some guy on the internet who has been posting accurate information about the way that this was going to go, even what they say, and so forth and so on. I'm undecided, even though it may not appear that way in the videos that I produce. As far as that attitude goes, that surrounds hope. Because the one thing I learned in the military, that if you're in a fight, if you give up hope, it's over. If you decide that you're not going to participate or you're just going to quit, that means you lose. And for me, that's not an option. Because I know what the consequences are for quitting, for saying I'm not going to participate, or believing that things are hopeless. As I stated in my last video, Eventually there comes a point where you can't do anything about corruption, where you can't do anything about people who act outside the confines of respecting free will and honor. Because it grows to such a point, there is no standing up against it. Because there's way too damn many of them. Because too many people have fallen into that mindset. Because that's what everybody else is doing. So at this point, I'm going to speak kind of plainly. And if you don't like foul language, it's time to quit watching this video. You have to be able to base your opinions and what have you upon people's actions. In other words, make a deal, keep a deal. And if they can't do that, fuck them. Forget about them. Because they weren't worth your time in the first place. The benefit of the doubt, how many times have you people out there been burned by giving someone the benefit of the doubt? I base all my observations on the work that's been done. Because it's the work that gets results. Because as we're all aware by now, people can say whatever the fuck they want in order to accomplish their own agenda or enrich themselves and the people who think like them along the way. The question is, are we smart enough to see it? And do we have the balls to call it out when we do? And I will tell you from personal experience, even when we're able to identify these things and see what's what and who's who, eventually there becomes a point when it's just too damn late. When the corruption and the lies have spread so far that even pointing it out isn't going to make a shit bit of difference.